that is recycled, modular, and backed by a lifetime guarantee can only be made better by extending the features in the series into different form factors. And the Rennen Extension series doesn't disappoint. Welcome back to another Carryology bag review. My name is Dave Sam, Carryology gear reporter. Today we're taking a look at the Rennen Extension series from Boundary, which includes a tote, a messenger, and a cooler that can each be purchased separately. If you're not familiar with Boundary, they're a company that was built on Kickstarter, specializing in modular bags, some featuring expandability, and all serving multiple purposes. I've been testing the Rennen Extension series for about a month now, and I'm ready to share my thoughts. Let's jump right in. On the outside, each bag in the Rennen series features a common silhouette, something that you're used to seeing either in the tote or in the messenger, and they come in two different colors. The featured color here is the hummus, which is like this off-white kind of creamy color, and then they have one that's called an obsidian, which is basically the Boundary Supply version of a straight black, which is a deep black. Looks pretty nice. Each bag, as I mentioned before, is made out of recycled materials. They're made with a 600D recycled nylon that's made from recycled PET bottles, in addition to a 200D recycled nylon and spacer mesh, both made from the same PET bottles. In addition to that, the cords, bindings, webbings, and felt are also made from recycled materials. All right, keeping on with the outside of the bag, let's start with the tote. The tote features two large grab handles that are padded on the inside, and you can see this seam there kind of codes the padding or hides the padding behind it. These are really comfortable to hold for extended periods of time. I'm not huge on one shoulder carry, but overall wasn't too bad to carry over your shoulder. I pack it out, and we'll see how that's packed out in a minute, but mostly for like beach and outdoor activities. So it's usually like my stuff, some of my wife's stuff, and some of that stuff did end up getting a little heavy, but overall pretty comfortable on the grab handles. On the outside as well, you can see that it is secured by this 360-degree lash system on both the back and the front of the bag. This 360-degree leash system. You'll see this also on the Rennen backpack. Allows you to connect things to the outside of the bag. The messenger in particular has connection points so that you can connect it on either side on the outside of the bag. Securing the entry to the main compartment is a pretty beefy YKK zipper. It looks like a number 8 if I had to guess. It is AquaGuard sealed, so you can be pretty secure or pretty sure that your things are going to stay dry on the inside. And then last but not least, on the outside, on the bottom, there is a ton of padding here. So you can be pretty comfortable and feel secure setting this down anywhere, especially because on the inside there is room for electronics. If you do want to carry electronics in this or use this for work or something, there are kind of padded compartments on the inside, so the padded bottom is really nice in addition to that. Next up, we have the messenger sticking to the outside of the bag, and the messenger is a bit smaller, but generally shares the same design features, same color scheme, same distribution of color on the bag overall, but obviously has some different messenger type features. On the back, there are two different grab handles, one of which is the same type of padded grab handle that we saw on the tote. The other, just a simple grab handle. The only kind of padding there, I guess, is the doubling of the seam here. So as it's folded over itself, or the material here is folded over itself, adds just a little bit of padding, but this is more for quick carry, quick grab. So doesn't need to be all that comfortable. On the front, there is the classic fold over design that is secured by these two buckles here, these plastic buckles, each of which has a nice little strap keeper, which I really like. And then underneath that, there's also a bit of Velcro that keeps the flap secure. You can also see that on the side here, where it flops down or where it flaps down is actually at this portion of the seam here. So it folds this entire bit down, which just keeps it more and more weather resistant, of course, adding to the materials being weather resistant. The handle, just like a typical messenger, is a single strap that goes across or over your shoulder. The only complaint that I have with this strap is that it is not padded. I found myself, and I usually find myself carrying pretty dense things in my messenger. This I used specifically for work. So it did get a little bit heavy with this strap specifically as I was riding around on the one wheel getting to and from work. So I would have preferred to have seen a padded strap here, or maybe even just a removable strap so that you could add a padded strap. Lastly, on the back, there is a zipper on the bottom and a button on the top. This is to open it up so that you can use it as a luggage pass-through. Which is really nice if you want to use this as a secondary bag if you're traveling, again, for work or maybe for pleasure, for YouTube, for example. You could take this bag as a secondary bag, maybe for your roller, and use it just for your tech or things that you're going to need on the plane. And as a day bag while you go where you go. Lastly, and this is the first time we're seeing it, is the cooler. And this is, again, it comes in two colors, this orangey or kind of fiery yellow color, and then a nice little evergreen color. This one is made out of a 200D ripstop nylon, or at least that's what it looks like. Looks very similar to the nylon on the inside or the liner of each of the bags. So that's why I'm calling it the 200D. Haven't really confirmed that. And then it's got this strap all the way across on both sides that you can use to carry, as well as the top. And then each of the straps is separated by a nylon loop so that if you do have some extra straps lying around, you can also secure these directly or secure the strap directly to the cooler and use this as kind of just a secondary bag or a bag that you are carrying around for the day. No frills here, pretty small. The reason you're seeing it for the first time will be clear in just a second when we dive into the inside of the two other bags. I'm about 6 feet tall. 195 pounds. This is what the messenger bag looks like on me. Move it to the front. You can see about how much space it takes. It is fairly big on the body. Again, sits a little heavy. You can see starting to get in here. But overall, sits like a standard messenger bag. This is the tote. Can't really show it down near my body, but sits about 6 to 8 inches from the floor when I hold it in my hand, so no danger of it being on the floor. And then again, I'm about 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, 195. This is how the tote will look on you if you decide to carry it on your shoulder. All right, moving to the inside of the tote. Firstly, we have the front pocket here, which is secured by a magnetic closure, magnetic flap magnet on each side. On the inside, it's got that 200D ripstop nylon that I was mentioning from the cooler. So that's where I got that bit, as well as this Nywool felt. This is like their soft pocket for things like sunglasses or things with a screen. And it goes pretty deep. I was able to fit my iPhone 13 Pro Max in here. It is secured by a little magnetic closure, so if you do put something smaller in there, it should stay secured. My phone would not allow the magnetic closure to close, but no big deal at all. Still pretty easy to get in and out of. Just in front of that, there are two slip pockets. One wide but really shallow pocket, really just for like your wallet or maybe a couple of cards. And then one really long but thin pocket on the other side, which is really just for like a pen or something. On the opposite side of that, we have kind of their magnetic nipple clip holder thing, and we have the female side here. So on their website, they sell something called, I think it's called like the HT key clip, which is just a key clip for like your belt loop, as well as it has the male side of this, so you can easily kind of transition from your belt to your bag, keeping your keys at the top of the bag. Additionally, this portion of the bag, or this pocket here, has its own dimension, as you can see. So you can fill this portion up without taking up any room from the inside or the main compartment of the bag. It also goes pretty deep, so all those compartments or little slip pockets I just showed really keep everything up about here, and then it gives you this entire space to keep something like a battery pack or something else that you might want really quick access to. All right, now moving on to the main compartment of the tote, we have this, again, number 8 YKK zipper, protecting everything. And what we see here is a lot of orange, a lot of yellow. But we have basically a large open compartment surrounded by slip pockets that I'm gonna show you. So the reason you didn't see the cooler at the beginning is because it was sitting inside the tote, which is what it was made for. Now we can remove that so you can see how big of a space this actually is. Adjacent to that on the back side, so this is the side that would likely be facing your body of the back side of the tote. This is a padded compartment. You can use this for a laptop. Again, like I said, I'm using this mostly for the beach, so I put my towel in there. This is my Boundary kind of mobile towel. I believe they still sell this on the website. This is from years ago, but one of my favorite travel towels. But again, a padded compartment here on both sides, so great for tech, laptop, tablet, anything like that. Keep going around, or if we keep going around clockwise here, on this side, we have a nice nylon water bottle compartment that can also be cinched down to really keep it secured against this side. What I like about this as well is that if you do have anything that might be a little extra wet, maybe like a wet pair of pants or something, you can also throw that in here, and there is a little drainage hole at the bottom. So as it's drying off, it will not be getting this stuff on the inside of your bag wet. It will hopefully be draining outside of the bag. And if we keep moving here, the next thing we see are 2 really large slip pockets that you could use for anything, an extra bathing suit, tech. I had a camera in here at one point. I used it for a little bit of my camera gear. So things like my microphone, my little vlog handle.
Say that again?
Things like my microphone, my little vlog handle all fit in here really nicely. When I did pack this out for work just to test it out, I also slipped my tech kit in here. And I was using, at the time, the Civic Access pouch, so it's fit in here really, really easily. And then just above these 2 slip pockets, we have another super long zippered compartment that is going across almost the entire side of the bag, but it's also super shallow. So it ends just about at the top of these 2 slip pockets here, but it is deep, nice. I put tools in here for the most part, or sunscreen when I was using this for the beach. So nice secured compartment that I don't have to worry about. That also keeps this stuff, or the stuff that I put in here, again, at the top of the bag. The distribution in this tote is really, really wonderful. And that's the inside of the tote. All right, now moving on to the messenger, or the inside of the messenger. We'll start with this top pocket. The top pocket is on the flap directly, secured by an AquaGuard YKK zipper with a pretty nice zipper pull. On the inside of this pocket, I just have a little hard drive in here, is a nylon compartment, really nice for putting things, again, like your phone or pair of sunglasses in here, anything that needs a little extra protection from any like rough surfaces. That's what you want to throw in this nylon compartment. It is fairly large. I mean, it can fit pretty much both my hands in here, but you can imagine it being roughly an entire hand width across and deep. So it doesn't have any dimension necessarily. I would stick to putting things that are a little bit flatter in here, because anything you put in here is going to be pressing up against the inside of the bag, especially as you're trying to cinch it down because it's on the flap. Moving to the inside of the flap, just inside before we get to the main compartment, there is another zippered compartment. Now this is a reverse coil YKK zipper, not a AquaGuard, but that's okay again because of the seal that you're gonna get out of the flap here. I was never worried about this being, exposed to the elements or anything like that. Another pretty large compartment spans the entire front of the bag here and gives you a lot of opportunity to store more items. Now, again, this doesn't have a lot of its own dimension, so you are going to mostly be storing those flatter items in here. For me, I have a phone in one of the large slip pockets on the side. This fits about a half a hand all the way deep. In the middle, there is another smaller slip pocket that is made for a pen, fits about a finger's width inside. And then on the other side, got just a couple of accessories here just to kind of show that there's a little depth. You have a mirrored slip pocket, so exactly like the one on the other side, but just above that there is a tiny nylon loop. This is for, again, connecting your keys. No nipple clip on this one, but if you've got that HT key clip, it has a clip on the end, so you can easily, again, just clip it here and unclip it as you need to transition from bag to belt or anything like that. Again, no real dimension here, so I would stick to using the slip pockets, stick to having things that are fairly flat on the inside, and maybe not use the inside beyond that or in front of the slip pockets, because you are going to be adding quite a bit of bulk. All right, and lastly, and it's going to be dark in here. It's going to be fairly dark in here, but not a lot to show, actually. You basically have one really large compartment that is separated by a padded wall or a padded separation here. Of course, the padded section is for things like your laptop. I've been using it for my laptop and my keyboard that I transition to and from work with. Both fit in there. I will say, again, not too much dimension in that portion of the pocket, so when you're putting something in there, the flatter items work best. If you put too much in there, for example, like I also tried to put my Moft stand in here, my Moft laptop stand, which helps just elevate and keep things ergonomic for me. I tried to put it in there as well with the keyboard and everything, and it was really just not sitting right. Things were kind of pushed up. It wasn't an ideal situation. And then lastly, I've got the Civic Access Pouch number 1. This is the smaller version, secured by magnets, really easy to use when I'm going to and from work. But that's the main portion of the inside of the bag. And let me see if I can show it this way potentially. You know, not a lot of frills on the inside here. Really just for those items that are going to be your bigger items that you're taking to and from work. Things like I had headphones in here at one point, a handful of things that I would take to and from work, but then I would use the other pockets for any of the miscellaneous items. All right, and lastly, we have the cooler, the inside of the cooler. So on the outside, we have one long zipper that gives you a little bit of space. It is a pretty tight pocket. It's got a little bit of dimension on the bottom here, so you can put something that maybe expands a little bit out. But I would suggest something flatter, maybe like snacks that you're bringing with you, so like a power bar or something like that. This is the perfect place for that. On and just moving directly onto the inside, got a standard kind of opening here so that we can clamshell ourselves open. I have a few drinks in here just to give you a sense of the size of what fits in here. So you can fit 4 seltzers, or you can fit 4 seltzers pretty easily. You can of course fit pop cans, things like sandwiches and other things in here. This is going to be that main compartment though, with the lining that is going to keep your things cool or hot or whatever in the bag. On the top of the bag, you have a nice little mesh compartment here. Also has its own little dimension. What I ended up using this for actually was the ice packs. So just keeping the ice packs up and secured in a specific area, but giving them that exposure to breathe into the bag so that anything that I had in here that I wanted to keep cool easily was kept cool. One thing I will say about this, or about the cooler here, is that it is definitely not made to have raw or open air ice in here. I made that mistake when I first got it. And of course, as the ice was melting, water was just leaking out of here nonstop. So that is not the purpose of this. This is more like a lunch bag. So it's meant for things like ice packs, sandwiches, snacks, drinks, so on and so forth. Raw ice, not going to be good for this. The Rennen Extension series is a great addition to what was already a great classic looking everyday bag in the Rennen backpack. To add things like the messenger bag, the tote, and the cooler just take the series to the next level, especially when you factor in the sustainability factor of each of these bags. And I didn't even mention it, but actually on the inside of the bags, they mention how much recycled material was used in each. So it's like 78%, 67%, and then like 23% or something like that. This one maybe a little bit harder. But overall, really interesting bags to use. I liked the tote overall the most, which is surprising for me. I'm not usually a tote user, but in the summer here, transitioning from or to or from friends' places, going to pool parties or the beach, or maybe even spending the night out. This has been a great little handy overnight everything little fun bag that has the right amount of size and gives me the right amount of versatility that I can bring almost anything with me. The messenger has been great for work. If you're into messengers, if that's your style of carry, this is definitely something to be reckoned with. Love that it's sustainable, has lots of great features. I do wish that there was some padding on the strap, but small price to pay for overall a great little package that could be used as a secondary bag. And then lastly, of course, the cooler. A little bit big for me for a cooler. I don't typically carry a cooler unless I'm gonna be carrying like a really large one. As far as like a personal cooler, probably not something that I would add to my repertoire. But overall, if this is something that you carry every day, if you carry your lunch to work every day, or you want to bring things from your refrigerator out, this could be potentially one of the great additions to your bag collection. The tote is going to run you about $120. The messenger is $99, and then the cooler is $39. So overall, if you wanted to secure each of the bags in the extension series, it would cost you about $240, $260, which isn't a bad price to pay for 3 very, very versatile bags. Thanks for watching another Carryology review with Dave Sam. Let us know what you think of the Rennen Extension series in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, get notified, do all the things that will keep you in line with our content and in touch with our content as we're putting it out. The plan is to be putting out more and more content. I've got a few pieces of apparel that are on deck for me personally that I plan on sharing with you all, or sharing my thoughts with you all very soon on. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.